Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. We are third year undergraduate student of Maritime Management. We were given an assignment to complete and then share with you through this video. This assignment title is Laytime Calculation from subject MMM4201 Broker and Charter. The following is a list of names of our group members. First, Muhammad Syahmi bin Muhammad Syukri, Muhammad Luqman Hakim bin Saidin, Muhammad Nabil Ashraf bin Muhammad Saiful Anwar, Wan Muhammad Adib bin Wan Draman, Nur Aida Syahira binti Ahmad, and Nurul Sarah binti Bahirul Zaman.
Laytime. Laytime is a period of time granted by the ship owner to the charterer of shipper to load or discharge goods. The length of laytime can be stated in days, hours, or tons per day. There is usually a provision in the charter party for the start of laytime, which is usually at a certain hour after the master has given notice of readiness. Laytime can be specified in terms of running days, working days, or weather working days. Laytime begin only in three requirements are met. To begin with, the vessel has been classified as a arrived ship under the rules of the charter party. Second, the vessel is in every way ready to load and discharge. Finally, in line with the charter agreement, notice of readiness has been served on the charterers or their agent.
Now we move to factor laytime does not count. Firstly, weekend or holiday. Secondly, provision of laytime exceeded. Thirdly, demurrage or damages for detention become payable. And lastly, bad weather. Based on this question, it showed that a ship, namely MV Tutor Ship, has been arrived at Buenos Aires Roads at 1500 hours on Monday, 3rd March. After we know the factor that cause laytime does not count, we move on to laytime calculation, but we need to look at the question about laytime first before doing the calculation.
To find the answer, we must follow the following 4 steps. Step 1. Calculate time allowed. Step 2. List down the table. Step 3. Calculate time usage. Step 4. Calculate demurrage. Okay, I will talk about step 1. Step 1. Calculate time allowed. Time allowed equal to amount of cargo to be loaded or discharged divided by loading or discharge rate. Time allowed equal to 20,000 divided by 5,000. The final answer is time allowed is 4 days.
Next, on this slide, I will explain about the laytime table. All the information here is what was given in the instruction given. So everything in the instruction is what we're going to apply here. So on Monday 3rd of March, the vessel arrived on 15 hours. Also on Monday 3rd of March, the notice of readiness has standed on 17 hours. Therefore, there is no calculation on laytime because NOR has standed and accepted. Next, on Tuesday 4th of March, they start to load on 7 hours. The laytime calculation that can we get is 3 hours before they stop to load due to the rain. During the rain on 10 hours to 16 hours, the estimate time that we get is about 6 hours. However, it will not be calculated for laytime use. Then they started working and continue loading on 16 hours to 23:59 hours, and the laytime calculation that we get is 8 hours. On Wednesday 5th of March, the vessel is unable to load the cargo on 1 hours to 23:59 hours due to the lack of cargo availability from the local shipper. Therefore, the laytime calculation that we get is 24 hours. Continued on the next day, Thursday 6th of March, they started working as usual since there is no problem, and the laytime calculation that we get is also 24 hours. On Friday 7th of March, they started loading on 1 hours to 8 hours, and lead time that has been calculated is 8 hours. However, the vessel stopped loading at 8 hours to 11 hours due to the rain, so there is no lead time calculation. Right after the rain has stopped, they started loading on 11 hours to 17 hours, and the lead time calculate is 6 hours. Then they continue loading on 17 hours to 23:59 hours. However, the lead time calculation that has been calculated is about 3.5 hours, half than the actual time. This is because in the instruction given, explain that time from 17 hours starting from Monday or the day preceding a holiday to 8 hours Monday or next working day not to be counted unless used, but half of actual time used to count unless vessel is already on demurrage. On the next day, Saturday 8th of March, they started working as usual, and the lead time calculation is 12 hours, half than the actual day, since they are working on a preceding holiday. On Sunday 9th of March, they started working on 1 hours to 9 hours, and the lead time calculation is 4.5 hours. However, they stopped working due to the rain on 9 hours to 12 hours, and there is no lead time calculation. Right after the rain has stopped, they continue loading on 12 hours to 13 hours, and the lead time calculation is 0.5 hours, half than the actual time 1 hour, because they are working on holiday. On 13 hours to 17 hours, they stop working due to the rain and continue working on 17 hours to 23:59 hours, and the lead time calculation is 3.5 hours, half than the actual time, that is 7 hours. On Monday 10th of March, they started loading on 1 hours to 7:59 hours, and the estimated lead time calculation that we get is about 4 hours, half than the actual time, that is 8 hours, because as the instruction explained that working hours that is less exceeding time on 8 hours Monday is still counted as a holiday. Therefore, on 8 hours to 12 hours, they started working as usual day, and the lead time calculation that has been calculated is 4 hours. And on 12 hours, the loading has completed.
Continue with step 3. Calculate the time use. To get the time use, we need to add all the lead time in the previous table. After adding the total lead time, we get 105 hours. 105 hours must be divided with 24 to get the period of days. 105 hours divided with 24, we get 4.375, which is equivalent to 4 days. Next, we can see the remaining 0.375 from the previous day must be multiplied with 24 to get the hourly value. 0.375 multiplied with 24 gets 9 hours. So here we get the time used is 4 days, 9 hours.
In the step 4, for the demurrage calculation, we have to find out how much less than the time allowed was used. In this calculation, time taken or time used should be subtracted by the time allowed. In this slide, you can see that the total time taken is 4 days, 9 hours minus the time allowed, which is 4 days. The result of this calculation is 9 hours. Therefore, the demurrage will calculate for 9 hours.
For the last step in lead time calculation is calculate the demurrage. From the previous calculation, we got the demurrage will be calculated for the 9 hours. We need to go to question, find out the daily demurrage rate. We can see here that daily demurrage rate in the question is 5,000 metric ton per day. First step, we need to convert 9 hours to minutes. How? We need to multiply 9 multiply with 60, we got 540 minutes. For the second step, we need to find out the amount of minutes in one day. 24 hours multiply with 60 minutes, we got 1440 minutes. So, we need to use the demurrage formula. So, 550 minutes multiply with 5,000 metric ton per day, and then we divide with 1,440 minutes. For the total is, we got USD 1,875 is need to payable to the ship owner because it demurrage.